The massive screen in Earth's Global Defense Command Center lit up with urgent warnings. Commander James Walker stood frozen, his coffee cup halfway to his lips, as he stared at the readings. After 20 years of watching the stars, they had finally found something. "Sir," Lieutenant Tom Brown called out, his fingers flying across the control panel. "The object just passed Pluto's orbit. It's moving too precisely to be natural." Walker put down his coffee and moved closer to the main display. The mysterious object was small, about the size of a car, but it was moving in a way that defied normal space physics. It would speed up, slow down, and change direction without any visible propulsion. "Get me a detailed scan," Walker ordered, his voice steady despite his racing heart. This was the moment they had trained for, the day humanity had both dreaded and eagerly awaited. The command center burst into activity. Scientists rushed to their stations, and military personnel began implementing first contact protocols. They had rehearsed this scenario countless times, but now it was real. Dr. Robert Smith, the head of alien technology analysis, pointed to a new set of data appearing on his screen. "Commander, the object is emitting some kind of scanning beam. It's collecting data about everything in our solar system." "Can we block it?" Walker asked, knowing that humanity's true technological capabilities needed to stay hidden. "Already done, sir," Dr. Smith replied with a slight smile. "As far as their scans show, we're just a civilization beginning to explore space. They can't see anything below ground level or through our stealth shielding." The probe, as they now called it, continued its journey through the solar system. It passed Mars, seemingly paying special attention to the small research bases humanity had built there as part of their cover story. These bases were intentionally designed to look less advanced than they actually were. Walker gathered his top team in the Situation Room. The wall screens showed the probe from multiple angles, while complex data streams scrolled past. "What do we know?" he asked. Major Lisa Green, head of intelligence, stepped forward. "The probe's design matches nothing in our database, but we've decoded some of its transmissions. It belongs to something called the Stellar Empire. Based on the data we've intercepted, they control thousands of worlds across multiple galaxies. And now they found us," Walker said quietly. "Yes, sir. But they're seeing exactly what we want them to see. According to their scans, Earth is a promising but relatively primitive world. They've noted our cities, our early space programs, and our military capabilities, or at least the ones we've allowed them to detect." Walker nodded. For decades, Earth had maintained this careful illusion. While the world's nations publicly squabbled over minor issues, underground they had built a unified defense force with technology that would astound even advanced alien civilizations. It had been a gamble, but now it seemed that gamble would pay off. "Sir," Lieutenant Brown's voice came through the intercom. "The probe is sending out a massive transmission burst. It's like it's calling someone." Walker's expression hardened. He knew what this meant. "Looks like we're about to have visitors. Send word to the Global Defense Council. Tell them it's time to activate Protocol Omega." As the message went out, hidden facilities around the world began to power up. Quantum computers processed combat scenarios, and advanced AI systems analyzed every piece of data from the probe. In secret bunkers, soldiers trained with weapons that officially didn't exist. Earth had put on a convincing show of being a young, developing civilization, but underneath this carefully crafted facade lay a military and technological powerhouse. The Stellar Empire was about to learn a valuable lesson about judging a civilization by its appearance. Commander Walker looked out the window at the night sky. Somewhere up there, an empire was making plans based on false information. He almost felt sorry for them. Almost. 3 days after the probe's discovery, the sky above New York lit up with strange lights. A massive ship, 3 miles long, appeared through what looked like a tear in space. Its dark metal hull reflected Earth's sunlight, making it shine like a new star in the morning sky. Commander Walker stood in the United Nations emergency chamber, watching the live feed. Around him, World leaders tried to maintain their calm, but he could see the worry in their eyes. "The ship is holding position just above our atmosphere," Major Green reported, her voice echoing in the quiet room. "They're broadcasting a message on all frequencies." The room's main screen flickered to life. An alien figure appeared, humanoid but clearly not human, with gray-blue skin and eyes that seemed to glow. He wore what looked like a military uniform decorated with strange symbols. "People of Earth," the alien spoke in perfect English, "I am Ambassador Rex of the Stellar Empire. We come with an offer of protection and advancement for your developing world." Walker noticed how the alien emphasized the word developing. Their plan was working. The Empire thought Earth was far less advanced than it really was. "We request a meeting with your world leaders," Rex continued, "to discuss your future role within our glorious empire." The UN Secretary-General stepped forward to respond, following the script they had prepared. "We welcome peaceful contact with your civilization, Ambassador Rex. We will meet with you in our United Nations building." 2 hours later, Walker stood at the back of the UN meeting room as Ambassador Rex and 3 other aliens walked in. Their movements were smooth and confident. Too confident. Walker had seen that kind of confidence before, in colonial powers dealing with what they thought were primitive peoples. "Your world shows great promise," Rex said, spreading a holographic map of Earth above the conference table. "The Empire can offer you amazing technologies, medical advances, and protection from hostile species." He paused. "In exchange, we merely ask for some of your natural resources and your allegiance to the Empire." Walker stepped forward. "And if we refuse?" Rex's glowing eyes fixed on him. "Commander Walker, isn't it? Surely you understand that the Empire's protection is valuable. Without it, other civilizations might take advantage of your limited capabilities." The threat was clear. Walker fought back a smile. If only they knew about the quantum weapon platforms hidden beneath Earth's oceans, or the antimatter missiles disguised as communication satellites. "We need time to discuss your offer," the Secretary-General said carefully. "Such important decisions cannot be made quickly." Rex nodded, but Walker saw irritation flash across his alien features. "Of course. You have 3 Earth days to consider our generous offer. Remember, the Empire's protection is not offered lightly." After the aliens left, Walker met with the Global Defense Council in a secure underground facility. The room was filled with military leaders and scientists from every major nation. "They think we're helpless," Dr. Smith said, reviewing the scans they'd taken of the Empire's ship. "Their technology is advanced, but not as advanced as they think we believe it is. Their weapons are impressive," Major Green added, "but nothing compared to what we got hidden away. The real question is, do we show our hand now, or wait?" Walker studied the tactical display showing the Empire's ship. "We wait, but we also send them a message, something to make them think twice about trying to bully us." That evening, when the Empire's ship tried to scan Earth again, they found their sensors blocked by technology that shouldn't have existed on a developing world. When they launched small probes toward Earth, those probes mysteriously malfunctioned and disappeared. In his quarters on the Empire's ship, Ambassador Rex received a simple text message on his personal computer. "We know what you're planning. This is your only warning. Stay away from Earth." Rex stared at the message for a long time. For the first time since arriving, he felt something he hadn't expected to feel while dealing with a primitive world. He felt fear deep beneath the Rocky Mountains in a facility that didn't officially exist. Dr. Anna Miller walked through rows of quantum computers. Each machine hummed with more processing power than the Empire probably thought existed on all of Earth. She smiled, thinking about the look that would appear on Ambassador Rex's face if he could see this place. "Dr. Miller," a voice called out. Commander Walker stepped out of the elevator, looking tired but determined. "The Empire's getting impatient. They've started moving more ships into our solar system." "Let them come," Miller replied, leading Walker to a massive circular room. It's time I showed you what we've really been working on down here. The room's lights came on, revealing a huge machine that looked like a silver ring standing upright. Inside the ring, energy crackled and swirled in patterns that seemed to break the laws of physics. This, Miller said proudly, is Project Mirror. We've been reverse engineering alien technology for decades, ever since the Roswell crash. But we've gone far beyond what any of those civilizations could do. Walker watched as scientists in white coats moved around the machine, checking readings and adjusting controls. What exactly does it do? It lets us see everything the Empire is doing. Every transmission, every ship movement, even their private communications. And they have no idea we can do it. Miller pressed a button, and a holographic display filled the air above them. Right now, they're planning to surround Earth with their fleet. They think it will frighten us into submission. Walker studied the display, watching the Empire's ships move into position. How many other projects like this do we have? More than the Empire could imagine, Miller answered, leading him to another section of the facility. They stopped at a window overlooking an enormous underground chamber. Inside, rows of sleek fighter craft sat ready for launch. They looked nothing like the primitive space shuttles Earth publicly used. These fighters use gravity drives, Miller explained. They can outmaneuver anything the Empire has. And that's just the beginning. Suddenly, alarms began blaring throughout the facility. A young scientist ran up to them, holding a tablet. Dr. Miller, the Empire's ships, they're powering up their weapons. Miller and Walker rushed to the control room. On the main screen, they could see the Empire's fleet taking up attack positions around Earth. They're trying to scare us, Walker said, watching the ships move. They still think we're defenseless. Miller nodded, then pressed a series of buttons on her console. Maybe it's time we showed them a small demonstration of what humanity can really do. Around the world, hidden facilities similar to Miller's began powering up. In orbit, satellites that appeared to be simple communication relays revealed their true nature. Deep under the oceans, massive energy generators came online. Commander, Miller said, I recommend we give them a little taste of human technology, just enough to make them think twice. Walker considered for a moment, then nodded. Do it. Miller entered a command code, and far above them, one of Earth's hidden defense systems activated. A beam of energy, invisible to normal sensors, shot out from a hidden lunar base. It passed through the Empire's shields like they weren't even there and disabled their largest ship's main power system. In his command chair, Ambassador Rex watched in shock as his flagship's systems went dark. The ship that should have been invincible to a primitive world's weapons now floated helpless in space. His communication screen lit up with a message from Earth. That was one weapon system, powered at 2% capacity. We have thousands more. This is your final warning. Leave Earth's space immediately. Rex looked out at his fleet, then at the planet below. For the first time, he wondered if the Empire had made a terrible mistake in judging Earth's capabilities. In the underground facility, Miller turned to Walker. Should we show them what else we can do? Walker shook his head. Not yet. First, let's see if they're smart enough to take the hint. But they both knew that the Empire's pride wouldn't let them retreat so easily. The real demonstration of Earth's power was still to come. Ambassador Rex paced in his restored flagship's command center, his pride wounded more deeply than he cared to admit. The humans had humiliated him. Worse, they had revealed technology that shouldn't have existed on such a young world. Send the message, he ordered his communications officer. His voice was cold with anger. Show these humans what happens when they defy the Empire. On Earth, Commander Walker and Dr. Miller watched from the mountain facility's control room as 5 Empire warships moved toward the moon. Their target was clear, the small research base that Earth had built there, or at least the base that the Empire could see. They're going to destroy our decoy base, Miller said, monitoring the energy readings from the enemy ships. Should we stop them? Walker shook his head. No, let them make this mistake. The Empire's ships opened fire. Green beams of energy struck the lunar base, turning its buildings to ash. The explosion was visible from Earth, a bright flash that lit up the night sky. Rex's face appeared on every television and computer screen on Earth. "This is but a small demonstration of Imperial power," he announced. "Your pathetic attempt at resistance ends now. Surrender, or we will target your cities next." In the United Nations chamber, world leaders played their parts perfectly. They argued and showed fear, exactly as a primitive civilization should. But deep underground, humanity's real response was taking shape. "All defense systems are ready," Miller reported, her fingers dancing across her control panel. "Fleet is in position. Hidden bases are powered up." Walker nodded, then pressed a button on his chair. His own message went out to the Empire's ships. "You have made a grave mistake. Leave now or face the consequences." Rex laughed when he received the message. "They still think they can threaten us. Launch the first wave. Target their military bases, the ones they think we don't know about." 20 Imperial fighters swooped down toward Earth. They expected to meet primitive jet aircraft or simple missile defenses. Instead, the sky itself seemed to come alive. Hidden defense platforms emerged from clouds, their advanced shielding making them visible for the first time. Quantum-guided missiles rose from underground silos, and from the ocean depths, enormous energy weapons surfaced, their barrels tracking the enemy ships. "My God," Rex whispered, watching his first wave of fighters vanish in seconds. Each Earth weapon fired with perfect accuracy, using technology that matched or exceeded the Empire's best defenses. Walker's voice came through again. "That was our automated defense network. Would you like to see what happens when we start trying?" As if to answer his question, a squadron of Earth's hidden fighters rose from underground bases. They moved with impossible speed, their gravity drives letting them ignore the laws of physics as the Empire understood them. "Impossible," Rex shouted, watching his ships fall one by one. "Where did they get this technology? How did they hide it from us?" In the mountain facility, Miller allowed herself a small smile. "Should we show them Phase 2? Walker considered for a moment. "Give them one more chance to retreat. If they're smart, they'll take it." Miller sent the signal. Around the Earth, massive holographic projectors activated. They showed the true extent of humanity's defense network. Thousands of weapon platforms, hundreds of advanced ships, and defense systems that extended far beyond Earth's orbit. "By the Emperor," Rex breathed, seeing the full display of Earth's power. His sensors confirmed what he was seeing. Somehow, this primitive world had built a military force that could challenge the Empire itself. A final message came from Earth. "You have 1 hour to leave our solar system. This time, we won't be as gentle in our response." Rex looked at his tactical display, watching more Earth ships emerge from hidden bases. He had come expecting to find an easy conquest. Instead, he had awakened a sleeping giant. And now that giant was angry. The 1-hour deadline passed. Ambassador Rex's pride had won over his judgment. Instead of retreating, the Empire's main battle fleet jumped into Earth's solar system. Over 300 warships, led by 5 massive dreadnoughts. "As expected," Commander Walker said, watching the enemy fleet appear on the main screen. "They never learn." Dr. Miller nodded, then turned to her control panel. "All Earth Defense Forces report ready. Should we show them everything now?" "Everything," Walker confirmed. "It's time to end this." Deep beneath every major city on Earth, advanced shield generators powered up. Quantum energy fields spread across the sky, forming protective domes that could withstand any weapon the Empire possessed. From hidden bases in the asteroid belt, Earth's own fleet of warships emerged, sleek, black vessels that made the Empire's ships look outdated. "Impressive toys," Rex sneered from his flagship's bridge. "But you cannot hope to match our numbers. Open fire." The Empire's fleet launched their attack. Thousands of energy beams and missiles struck Earth's shields. The Empire expected them to fail instantly. Instead, The shields absorbed every hit, growing stronger with each impact. "Sir," one of Rex's officers called out, "their shields are converting our weapon energy into power." That's impossible." Walker's voice came through their communication system. "Would you like to see what else is impossible?" At that moment, Earth revealed its greatest secret. The moon's surface seemed to shift, and a massive structure emerged. It was a weapon platform larger than anything the Empire had ever built, powered by the core of the moon itself. "By all the stars," Rex whispered. Dr. Miller pressed a single button. The lunar weapon fired, not at the Empire's ships, but at empty space around them. Space itself began to twist and tear. Miniature wormholes opened around dozens of Imperial vessels, swallowing them whole before closing. "What's happening?" Rex demanded, watching his fleet disappear ship by ship. "We call it the space folder," Miller's voice explained. "It creates temporary wormholes. Your ships aren't destroyed. They're just taking a very, very long trip to the other side of the galaxy." Earth's fleet moved in, their advanced drives letting them dance around the remaining Imperial ships. Their weapons cut through the Empire's shields like they weren't even there. It wasn't a battle, it was a demonstration. "This is impossible," Rex shouted. "You're supposed to be primitive. How did you hide all this?" "We learned long ago to appear weak when we are strong," Walker replied. "Every alien probe, every scanning ship that passed by, we showed them what we wanted them to see. We knew someday someone like you would come, thinking Earth would be an easy conquest." On his flagship's bridge, Rex watched helplessly as his fleet was torn apart. Earth's weapons and defenses were beyond anything the Empire had thought possible. Worst of all, he realized they still weren't showing everything they could do. "Final warning," Walker announced. "Retreat now, or we'll be forced to demonstrate our full capabilities." Rex looked at his tactical display. 3/4 of his fleet was gone, either transported across the galaxy or destroyed. Earth's forces hadn't suffered a single loss. "All ships," he commanded, his voice shaking. "Retreat. Full retreat." The remaining Imperial ships turned, preparing to jump away from Earth. As they fled, Miller sent them one last message. "Remember this day. Remember what happened when you threatened Earth, and tell your Empire we're not as primitive as you thought." In the mountain facility, Walker turned to Miller. "Think they learned their lesson?" She smiled, watching the Empire's ships disappear into hyperspace. "If not, we've got plenty more surprises for them." The battle was over. Earth had revealed its true power. And somewhere in the galaxy, a mighty empire had just learned a valuable lesson about judging worlds by their appearance. The Imperial Palace on the Empire's capital world was in chaos. Ambassador Rex stood before the Imperial Council, trying to explain how Earth had humiliated their fleet. "They have technology we've never seen before," he reported. "They can fold space itself. Their weapons pass through our best shields. They've hidden their true power for decades, waiting for someone like us to test them." The Imperial High Commander, a tall figure in a dark uniform, stepped forward. "Then we will send everything. Every ship, every weapon we have. No primitive world can stand against the full might of our empire." On Earth, Commander Walker and Dr. Miller watched through their quantum spy network as the Empire gathered its forces. Thousands of ships formed up around the Empire's capital, the largest fleet ever assembled in the galaxy's history. "They're really going to try it," Miller said, shaking her head. "Even after everything we showed them." Walker nodded. "Pride. It's always pride." He turned to his communication officer. "Send the message we prepared. Let's give them one last chance." Across every Imperial communication channel, Earth's warning played. "You have seen only a fraction of our capabilities. Do not force us to show you the rest." The Imperial High Commander laughed when he received the message. "Launch the attack. We will show these humans what happens when they defy the greatest power in the galaxy." The Imperial Armada jumped into Earth's solar system, 5,000 ships strong. They expected to find Earth preparing for a desperate defense. Instead, they found empty space. "Where are their ships?" the High Commander demanded. "Where are their defenses?" Dr. Miller's voice came through their communications. "Look up." The entire Imperial fleet looked up just in time to see Earth's moon shimmer and disappear. In its place stood the largest space station ever built, a massive construct that had been disguised as a natural satellite for thousands of years. "Impossible," the High Commander whispered. "Project Phoenix," Miller announced proudly. "Would you like to see what it does?" Before the Empire could respond, the massive station pulsed with energy. Space itself seemed to bend and twist around the Imperial fleet. Thousands of wormholes opened, but these were different from the ones Earth had used before. "The wormholes aren't moving your ships this time," Walker explained calmly. "They're redirecting your own weapons' fire back at you. Every shot you take will hit your own vessels." The High Commander refused to believe it. "All ships, open fire. Show these humans the true power of the Empire." The Imperial fleet fired everything they had. Energy beams, missiles, and plasma torpedoes launched toward Earth. But each weapon disappeared into a wormhole, only to emerge pointing back at the Imperial ships. The Empire's mighty armada began to destroy itself. Every attack they launched bounced back at them. Their own weapons tore through their shields, destroyed their engines, and crippled their flagship. "Stop firing," the High Commander screamed. "All ships cease fire." But it was too late. In just 10 minutes, half the Imperial fleet had been destroyed or disabled by their own weapons. Earth hadn't fired a single shot. Walker's voice came through again. "Now, shall we discuss peace terms?" The High Commander stared at his ruined fleet, his pride finally broken. "How?" he asked. "How did you hide all this from us?" "We learned long ago that the greatest power lies in being underestimated," Miller replied. "Every probe you sent, every scan you made, we let you see what we wanted you to see. We could have destroyed your entire empire, but we chose to show mercy." The remaining Imperial ships powered down their weapons. On their bridges, commanders and crews finally understood the truth. They hadn't found a primitive world to conquer. They had awakened the most powerful civilization in the galaxy. And now, that civilization was offering them a choice: peace or complete defeat. 1 month after the Great Battle, the halls of the United Nations building in New York were filled with both humans and aliens. The signing of the Galactic Peace Treaty was about to begin. Commander Walker stood at the main podium, looking out at the strange gathering. The Imperial High Commander sat in the front row, no longer proud and arrogant, but respectful. Ambassador Rex sat beside him, looking both humbled and relieved. "Today marks a new chapter in galactic history," Walker began. "Not as conquerors and conquered, but as equals." Dr. Miller stood nearby, operating a holographic display that showed the true Earth, not the primitive world they had pretended to be, but a planet covered with advanced technology. Hidden cities emerged from under the oceans. Massive defense platforms decloaked in orbit. The moon station, Project Phoenix, revealed its full glory. "For centuries, we watched the stars," Miller explained to the gathered aliens. "We saw empires rise and fall. We saw powerful civilizations conquer weaker ones, and we decided to take a different path." The hologram changed to show Earth's hidden fleet, thousands of ships with technology that made the Empire's best vessels look primitive. But instead of fear, the Imperial delegates now showed wonder and understanding. "We could have conquered your empire," Walker continued. "We could have taken your worlds, destroyed your fleets. Instead, we offer partnership. Earth will share some of its technology, not weapons, but advances in medicine, clean energy, and space travel." The Imperial High Commander stood up. "And what do you want in return?" Walker smiled. "Peace. Real peace. No more conquering weaker worlds. No more forcing civilizations to join your empire. Help us protect developing worlds instead of exploiting them." The treaty was simple but powerful. The empire would remain, but as a protector rather than a conqueror. Earth would help establish a galactic council where all civilizations, strong or weak, would have a voice. As the Imperial High Commander signed the treaty, he turned to Walker. "You could have destroyed us. Why show mercy?" "Because true power isn't about destruction," Walker replied. "It's about making the right choices. Earth didn't want to rule the galaxy. We just wanted to make it better." After the signing, Dr. Miller showed the Imperial delegates through one of Earth's hidden cities. The aliens marveled at quantum computers that could outthink their best machines, ships that could bend space itself, and medical technology that could cure almost any disease. "All this time," Rex said, shaking his head in amazement, "we thought we were the most advanced civilization in the galaxy. We had so much to learn." That evening, at a celebration in the underwater city of Atlantis, which had never been lost, just hidden, Walker and Miller watched humans and aliens mingling peacefully. "Think it will last?" Miller asked. Walker nodded. They learned their lesson. Sometimes the most powerful civilizations are the ones smart enough to hide their power until it's truly needed. Above them, through the city's transparent dome, they could see Earth's ships patrolling alongside Imperial vessels. Former enemies now working together to protect the galaxy. "And if anyone else threatens Earth?" Miller asked with a smile. "Then we'll do what we've always done," Walker replied. "We'll warn them once to stay away." After that, he looked up at Project Phoenix, still visible as a bright point of light near the moon. "Well, let's hope they're smarter than the Empire was." The story of how Earth revealed its true power spread throughout the galaxy. Other aggressive civilizations heard the tale and reconsidered their expansion plans. The age of conquest was over. Earth had changed the galaxy not through force, but through patience, wisdom, and the careful use of hidden strength. And if anyone ever forgot the lesson, they needed only to look at the Empire's defeated fleet to remember. Never judge a civilization by what it shows you. Sometimes, the quietest worlds are the most powerful of all.